In a stunning testimony, former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould said she felt she was shuffled out of the portfolio because of her resistance to the pressure she faced regarding snc-lavalin.
I was concerned that the reason why I was being shuffled out of the Minister of Justice and Attorney General possibly was because of a decision I would not take on SNC and the DPA.
So that was Wilson-Raybould's response to a question from the Justice Committee member and Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Lisa Raitt, who is joining us from Ottawa this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Before that testimony yesterday, you said it was important to you to find out why Jody Wilson-Raybould resigned from Prime Minister Trudeau's cabinet. Here was her response.
I resigned from cabinet because I did not have confidence to sit around the table, the cabinet table. That's why I resigned.
You're a former cabinet minister. You know what a huge statement that is. What do you think she is trying to say to the Liberal Party and the rest of Canada?
I think it's pretty clear what she said, and she said it in another part of her testimony, actually. She said that if she found out that a deferred prosecution agreement or the deal was going to be offered to snc-lavalin, that she would find herself in a position where she would have to resign. So clearly, she got notice of the fact that there was a move to make the new Attorney General overturn Jody Wilson-Raybould's decision to not cut a deal with snc-lavalin, and that caused her to take the ultimate step, and that is to step away from the cabinet table.
Both as a member of the Justice Committee and as a Deputy Leader of the Opposition, who else do you now want to hear from at committee?
Right. So she gave us a list of witnesses that are potential for sure. The Prime Minister needs to testify under oath. He needs to tell us the full truth. He needs to tell us in more than these very careful, crafted statements that he's giving to the media when he decides to appear for 5 questions, or the non-answers that we're getting in the House of Commons. His job is on the line here. He is in a lot of trouble. Her testimony was frank, candid, believable, detailed, and true. And he has to come out and say more than, I completely disagree with the characterization. This is not characterization. These are facts. And he needs to do a heck of a lot better telling us what happened or not happened, because if he doesn't, the only inference we can draw is the fact that the Liberal Party of Canada sought to interfere with a criminal trial in order to help themselves get elected in Quebec.
Will you be calling on the Finance Minister?
100%. The finance minister was implicated. Think about it this way. Jody Wilson-Raybould goes to the finance minister in Parliament and says, Bill, your staff is really bothering me. Call the dogs off, please. And he doesn't. He doesn't do anything to help her. She's getting bullied all over the place. I mean, she stands her ground, but it's a serious matter. She's asking for help. None of her colleagues are giving it to her. He needs to testify and tell us exactly why he felt snc-lavalin decided to get this deal and why he was willing to throw his own cabinet colleague under the bus to get it.
The leader of your party, Andrew Scheer, calling for the Prime Minister to resign. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was on this program this morning. He says a full investigation should be done before he decides whether or not to make that call for resignation. Why does your party feel there's no further investigation needed? Why the resignation?
It's very simple. The testimony yesterday, as I said, was incredibly believable. It was detailed and it was factual. When you take a look at the series of interactions that happened, you are led to the absolute conclusion that this Prime Minister has no moral authority any longer to govern the country. Why? Because he is willing to break down that very true barrier between what a politician does and what a judge or a Crown prosecutor does. And he does it for his friends, and he does it for the wrong reasons. And if he can't see the line as being as clear as it needs to be seen by somebody who wields the ultimate power in our country, he doesn't deserve to be our Prime Minister anymore. So we asked him to resign, to do the right thing, to step aside on behalf of the country, and he won't.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Lisa Raitt, thanks for joining us from Ottawa this morning.
Thanks, Marat.